You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Yes, we're celebrating today. We like to celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio, although we may not be celebrating as much if we had some of that, too much of that Kahlua from yesterday being National Kahlua Day. But today's chocolate souffle day. And boy, I love chocolate souffles. I haven't had a good chocolate souffle in a long time, but if you know a good place to get a chocolate souffle, good morning, Alex. Put it right there in the chat. Chocolate souffle. Yeah, I like that. The great picture there. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv or any of our socials, got a picture right there of chocolate souffle with chocolate sauce in it. The only thing I'm missing is a little bit of whipped cream on top. Maybe some Grand Marnier to go with it, but that one looks good. Also, hey, don't forget, Facebook. I'll go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. We like to be interactive on the program, just like Alex comes in here and puts in here good morning, and we like to see him there. But go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give him authorization to tell us who you are. And feel free to comment throughout the broadcast. I get some hecklers, I know. We also get my uncle from Nigeria tuning in every once in a while. Or I don't even know because it's a foreign language that comes across the screen. So we do see that one as well periodically. But hey, if you got comments, questions, thoughts about what we're talking about, feel free to jump on in and share those with us. And if we have time or if we have the ability, we'll get them put on the screen. Let's look at the markets today. Dow Jones, it's doing a lot better. So I had a conversation with some of our business partners yesterday, and we were looking at the stock futures, the Dow Jones Futures, down almost 900 points in the future market yesterday. Well, today, right now, we're looking at the Dow Jones down 174 points, the S&P 500 down 10. NASDAQ is up 59. Oil up $3.76 a barrel. Yeah, $3.76 a barrel. Well, should we look? Yeah, well, I do it anyway, so I don't know why I ask. Louisiana, our tremendous underwriter, Lori, she's out there in Louisiana paying $3.37 a gallon for gasoline. $3.37. I shouldn't say what I'm thinking because I filled up my car this weekend, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Jody, production manager for our team, $3.82 a gallon. Josh, you made the magic number. You guys are over $4 now in Nevada, $4.02 in Nevada. But hey, your guys are still amateurs. Right here in the formerly Golden State, $4.83 a gallon of gasoline. $4.83. I actually paid $4.79, I think it was, over the weekend for premium, $4.79. So that was not pleasant, but, I guess we have to pay for, I was going to say we pay for the weather and things that we have here in California, but something, it hasn't been that great. Although I used to be, years ago, I used to go to Chicago about 10 times a year. I had an office there. And the one thing you could always count on with the weather in Chicago is it was going to change. You had no idea whether it's going to change for the better, change for the worse, but it was going to change. So if you didn't like the weather you had right at that particular moment, you might as well wait just a minute or two. It'll change. Kind of like we are now. I was out walking this weekend, and at the beach, 43 degrees when I got there on the weekend. 43 brr, yeah, I say it's 43 degrees down there. You know something? Well, Alex, you have to have a weapon to go to Chicago because or body armor, one or the other. I stayed out in the suburbs. It was a little bit nicer. But yeah, it was 43 degrees out there. So it was a bit chilly, but let's continue our chat through the markets. Let's see what the bond market, 10-year treasury down 9 basis points. That's to be expected because there is that flight to quality, flight to safety. Yeah, you're not getting that on an airplane right now, especially if you're in Russia or Ukraine. That's not safety. And I don't make light of that at all. But Russia increased their equivalent to our Fed funds rate. So our Fed funds rate is at about 0 to 0.25 right now. And there was conversation before Russia invaded Ukraine that we would see a 50 basis point, that's 0.5% increase this month. That talk is tapered off a little bit to 0.25%, but we'll see what happens. But think about this. In Russia, they increased their rates, the equivalent, 11%. 11% overnight.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, have you seen the pictures of the run on the banks out there that people are trying to get their money? They call them rubles there. So they're trying to get their money out to see if they can, at least have something to go spend. We haven't seen a run on our banks, so that's good news. Cutting Russia off. Now think about this. Just fascinates me because I'd love somebody to help me understand this. So we're sanctioning Russia and we're cutting them off from the banking system and we're buying $53 million a day of Russian gas. Can somebody help me understand that? When we have the Keystone Pipeline that's about 90% done, and we could just, if we get the president on board, maybe he'll tell us this tomorrow night. I doubt it. He's got the State of the Union tomorrow night. I'm hoping he stays awake for it. My prediction is it'll be the shortest State of the Union in a long, long time. Donald Trump really enjoyed his own voice, so he spoke quite a long time on his States of the Union. I'm not sure Joe Biden can stay awake long enough. I did see that he did get on the helicopter, came back from Delaware this morning. Like there's nothing going on in Washington, although they do take a lot with them. They have their traveling systems, so they can take a lot of what they need to with them. But the bottom line is the president maybe needs to be face-to-face with his national security team, and they're not all sitting with him. They're not in the strategy room dealing with all of this. So just a thought there for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Millennials, do you need a home with more space? We will talk about it. How to buy a home in an extremely hot market. Chat about that one. What are credit score reason codes? The reason codes. A lot of people don't know that one at all. They've never even heard of a reason code. So we'll chat about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. all without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@ronsiegelradio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And let's take a look at what the markets are doing today. We're going to talk about what the markets are doing and, more importantly, why. So the Dow Jones, since I reported to you a little while ago, down now 308 points and falling quickly. We'll see why that's happening right now. The NASDAQ is down 13.9 right now, so there's got to be some news that came out. We'll look for it and see what's going on. S&P 500 down 7.5. 10-year Treasury now down 11 basis points. And the mortgage-backed securities, those are up 45 basis points. What does all of that mean and why? because you can find all of that on the super secret website. That would be called google.com. So we're looking at that flight to safety, quality. That I mentioned that a little bit ago, that when there is global unrest, global uncertainty, the world wants to put their money into the U.S. Now, yes, I know that we've cut China or Russia off of the SWIFT system. And that's basically a system that allows banks to transfer money from one place to another through this system. Well, they've cut Russia. I don't know. I keep saying China. They've cut Russia off of that system, and Russia is going to feel that pretty quick because they're not getting money for things they need. The SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. Don't ask me to repeat that twice. So Russia is not able to participate in that. And we saw that in 2014 when Iran was cut off. Well, they lost half of their oil export revenues and 30% of their foreign trade as a result of that. So that's a big issue because really, when it comes down to it, Russia's nothing more than a gas station with nuclear weapons. So that's the only reason. If it wasn't for the nuclear weapons, no one would pay any attention to Russia at all. Take a look at what's going on in Ukraine right now. They gave up their nuclear weapons, and now they've got to deal with Russia right now, dealing with these issues. But because the dollar is the worldwide national reserve currency, many debts that businesses incur in Russia are in U.S. dollar denominated. That means that as the ruble loses value, I started telling you about this in the last segment, the effect on what they owe increases. So that 30% change in the ruble, that's a big issue. And that's why people in Russia are trying to go and get money out. Just throw that out to you. Got a big week this week in news as well, because you may not have noticed, but today's the last day of the month. What does that mean? Well, the first Friday of the month, we're going to get the BLS jobs report. So we get the ADP report on Wednesday. That's the private sector. The BLS jobs report comes out on Friday. The market's expecting about 400,000 job creations for the month of February in each of the reports. Unemployment rate is expected to decline from 4% to 3.9%. And while we're watching all of these things happening, as I mentioned to you, the bond market, the bond is up 46 basis points, 48 basis points right now as I speak to you. That means interest rates have dropped a little bit. You can figure about a third of whatever the bond does is what you see in rates. So you probably see about an eighth of a point change in rates right now. Is that good or bad? Well, it depends on what you're looking to do, what you're trying to accomplish. That's where those numbers come about. If you're thinking about buying a house, it probably means something to you. It's important to you. But here's the issue that I want you to be aware of is, what is your long-term goals? That's more important than anything else, because we just released a report over the weekend, and I'm going to ask Josh to get this for us. We haven't got it all set up for the public yet, but we'll have it set up for the public probably by tomorrow or the day after. And it basically shows you, how do you get back to where you were? What does that mean? Well, if you were pre-approved to buy a home, and I should just tell you because we're off subject right here. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. Give a call, 800-306-1990. Operators are standing by. So here's the issue. If you were pre-approved for a loan, if you started shopping for a loan back in December, January, maybe even the early part of February, you were pre-approved, and most people try and find out, what's the most money I can spend on my payment? Well, when you're talking about your payment, what's the most important part of your payment? Yeah, I know it's the price you pay for the property, but over the long term, that's not going to be where your money's getting spent. You're going to pay off that property over whatever the term of the loan is, 15 years, 30 years, 25 years, whatever that number is. The biggest focus needs to be on the interest rate. So if we look at that Freddie Mac rate, and I use Freddie Mac because they do a market survey, and release it every Thursday morning, as long as it's not a holiday. But they release it Thursday morning, 7 o'clock California time. That would be 8 o'clock for those of you in Arizona during the standard time. Central time, you're at 9 o'clock, and on the East Coast, 10 o'clock. You could probably figure that out on your own. You didn't need me for that. But here's the issue. That rate on January 6th, first time they reported it this year, that rate was 3.22%. Now, you had to pay some points to get that, but let's go with 3.22%. As of December 30th, it was 3.11. As of this past Thursday, again, they reported every Thursday, it was 3.89. 3.89. So that's up almost 0.8% since the first of the year. If your ratios were maxed out and then you look at interest rates and they go up 20%, that's going to have a devastating effect on what your purchasing power is. So what do you do with that? How do you deal with it? Well, there are specific terminologies that can be used, and I don't want to go into all of the specifics right here because it's going to be different for in every scenario. But there are very, very specific terminologies that'll allow those rates to be rolled back. How do you do it? Well, that's what this report is going to show. So we're going to get that put out to you. And I don't even know what we're going to call it yet because I haven't figured it out. But the report is done. We've got the video done for it. We just have to get all of the connections so we can get it to you. And that usually doesn't take me any time at all because Josh does it. So that makes it a lot easier, right? So we'll have that done for you by tomorrow. But basically what I did in the video is I demonstrated to you, if you'll take a look at what the interest rates were a few months ago, and let me see if I can even find the numbers so I can share just a little bit of it with you from a bird's eye view, as the great Chick Ern would say, from a bird's eye view. So let's say that, well, we don't have to say it, on the 13th of January last year, the Freddie Mac rate was 3.55, and the 20th it was 3.56. So I said, okay, what if somebody was pre-approved for an $875,000 purchase price during that time, and they qualified for 3.5. This is not an offer to lend you anything. These are not exact numbers. I just use them for educational purposes. So what if they had got that 3.5%, $875,000, $700,000 loan amount, and their payment was going to be $4,154.77 all in. Taxes, estimated taxes, estimated insurance, the interest, the whole bit. Well, right now we're probably looking at close to 4.25 as interest. Yes, I know that last week they said 3.89, but you had to pay 0.8 of a point to get it. Do you want to pay that? So that means you're going to pay almost $7,000 to get that rate. So let's say 4.25. And I did look at it. Ellie Mae, they're one of the largest loan operating system providers. About 35% of the loans go through their systems, and they tell us on a regular basis what the average loan is locked at. And 4.25 is a pretty good number for that. That would be 4.321 APR for those of you keeping score. So let's just say we have that 4.25. Well, now the payment went up to $44.55. That's a $300 increase. $300 a month. So that's up 7.5%. If your ratios were right on the edge before, they're blown out of the water. You don't qualify anymore. What do you qualify for? Well, we put that on there also. $812,000. Because $812,000 at today's interest rate gets you back down to that $41,54.77 payment amount. Now, how could we roll back the interest rate? Because we still want to buy that $875,000 house. How do we roll back the interest rate? It's called a seller buy down. We need to get the seller's assistance to give us probably, and it's going to differ by scenario, but the seller is going to help buy down the interest rate so we get back to that 3.5% interest rate, 3.818 APR, and we get back to that $4,154.77 payment, and you're back into your qualification area. You now qualify again for the loan. So what I'm actually calling this is, how do you neutralize that pre-approval time bomb? How do you neutralize that pre-approval time bomb? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've just got a lot to cover today. So we're going to get right at it. We've got the real-time real estate segment. Millennials, do you need a home with more space? Your credit matters. What are credit score reason codes? And yes, how to buy a home in an extremely hot market, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
We're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property. Hey, we just got a new tool as well. You can visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Great tool to show you what your property value is. I shared with you last week that property value, if a bank or credit union, when they have properties on their books, they have to mark them to market. And marking them to market means that they have to look at 3 different valuation models. Well, you can go on rsrhomescout.com, put in your specific property address, and it's going to give you all that information, but more. If you're looking to move, you can go into rsrhomescout.com and put in the specifics of where you want to move to, and you can have a search anywhere in the country, have a search set up for you. No advertising. So it's not like going to the Z guys and they're going to send your name to 75 different people. Your phone's going to be inundated with phone calls. So RSR Home Scout, new tool from your friends right here at Ron Siegel Radio. Millennials, do you need a home with more space? If you're a millennial, home buying might be top of mind for you. Your generation is the largest group of home buyers in the market today and has been since 2014, according to the National Association of Realtors, NAR. And while other millennials are looking to buy for the first time, you may be one of the many who are now discovering you've outgrown your home. If that's the case, you're not alone. The past 2 years brought about significant changes for many people, and today, homeowners are reevaluating what they truly need in a home. As a result, or as a recent report from Wall Street Journal states, quote, they say the pandemic and the emergence of remote work accelerated millennial home buying trends already underway. Millennials who already owned homes traded up for more space, unquote. So if you're working remotely now or simply have to grow need for additional space, it may be time to move. And even if you purchased your home sometime over the last few years, you can still move into a different one that has the space and features you're looking for. That's because there's a good chance you have more equity than you realize. As Diana Olick, real estate correspondent for CNBC, notes, quote, the stunning jump in home values over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic has given U.S. homeowners record amounts of housing wealth. Even homeowners who weren't listing their properties for sale were gaining equity. About 42% of homeowners were considered equity rich at the end of last year, meaning their mortgages were half or less than the value of their home, unquote. Man, that's something. If you get that from Diana Olick, because she's usually very, very bearish on real estate. Growing equity can be the key you need to fuel your next move, especially if you're looking to purchase a larger home. When you sell your current house, the equity that comes back to you in the sale can be used toward the down payment on your next home. In other words, your purchasing power may be greater than you realize, making a move to a larger home is a realistic option. That plus your changing needs might make moving now more desirable than ever. Bottom line, if you're a millennial thinking about moving this year, you're not alone. Let's chat. Let's see if you have the equity in your property. Then I'm going to tell you what I've said before. The idea here is to see if you can take some of that equity out of your property and buy a new home. Keep the old property and use that. That could be your retirement. That one task right there could be your retirement in, as a millennial, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Right? Do that a few times. You're going to have a lot of passive income coming into your house. I'm going to suggest to you that could be really, really strong for you and your family and your future. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. How to buy a home in an extreme seller's market. I thought I'd share this with you because there's a lot going on right now. Home buying activity has certainly been hot over the past few years. In spite of being in the middle of a pandemic, it will likely just get hotter as the spring buying season approaches. Even as home prices and mortgage rates steadily rise, buyers are not sitting out. So I'm going to share with you buying strategies you can use in a competitive market. First thing you should know is you're entering a seller's market. This means you're not likely to cut a deal or get discounts. Sometimes, even if the home needs major repairs, that's because supply is severely lagging demand. It's crucial to sharpen your home buying tools if you want to compete successfully. Here are the top buying strategies. Number one, get a mortgage pre-approval or pre-underwrite. We like to do the pre-underwrite because that's going to get that information for you. While there are various methods sellers can use to snag a home in today's rapid market, the one resounding rule that all experts agreed on is to get a mortgage pre-approval or pre-underwrite before you begin house hunting. And I told you about the housing time bomb, the pre-approval time bomb earlier in this broadcast. A pre-approval shows sellers a lender has verified your finances and creditworthiness and you're ready to move. Number two, look for homes under your budget. Tales of multiple, sometimes dozens of bidders on one home are not unusual. This is real life in housing markets across the U.S. For buyers, that means you probably shouldn't look for homes at the top of the budget, as you can count on someone else outbidding you. Just be sure this is true for your area. If you're serious about buying a home, a good strategy is to search for homes below your spending limit. This way you have room to bid up without dipping into savings or going outside of your target price point. Number three, give yourself extra time. It's not uncommon for first-time home buyers to borrow money to make a down payment. However, this should be factored into your timeline. Talk to your lender about any funds you expect to receive so they can walk you through the process. For example, if someone's giving you money for the down payment, they're going to have to write a gift letter explaining that you don't have to repay the money. Number four, get the best real estate agent possible. And we know them. You just have to call us. An excellent real estate agent is every buyer's secret weapon. They're not only great negotiators and have a solid understanding of the neighborhood you're interested in, but they also have terrific connections which will benefit you. Number five, expand your search. The most sought-after neighborhoods come with the highest price tags. If you have your heart set on owning a home and living in a specific but out-of-budget neighborhood, you might have to choose between them. For those who opt for home ownership over a coveted zip code, that means looking in other states. Remember, rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Start that search. Start by identifying what you like about your dream neighborhood. Are there local restaurants and businesses nearby? Are there green spaces? Is there public transportation? Whatever features you value, try to find them in areas you might not have expected or explored before. Finding a home in an extreme market can be overwhelming, but when you put together a talented team of professionals, real estate agents, combined with top-notch mortgage lenders like our team, you'll make it much easier to accomplish your goal. Here's the issue. We can even show you how to spend another $50,000 or $100,000 above what you think you can afford by using specific strategies that we share with the families that come to the Siegel Lending team. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got, what are we going to talk about? What are credit score reason codes? We'll talk about that one and a lot more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. What are credit score reason codes? Good question. Many factors can impact your FICO scores, including both positive and negative information in each of your credit reports from Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion. The 5 major scoring categories can help you understand the relative importance of different types of information. However, the specific impacts of a change can depend on your unique credit file. Credit score reason codes can help you understand what's impacting your specific FICO score the most right now. Remember, the only place that I go to get a FICO score would be myfico.com, myfico.com. And yes, I pay for it. I don't get it free. I don't tell you about it because they're compensating me for sharing the information with you. No, I pay for it just like everybody else, but I watch it for my wife and myself because I want to know what's going on. And as much as that, what I really want to know is When things change on my file, I get an update, a couple times a day, maybe more than that, about different things going on my credit file. And I look at it and say, okay, this caused my score to go up a point. This caused my score to go down a point. And by watching that, I can then report to you and say, something, if you do this, you can expect that. Get back to the subject though, Ron. What are reason codes? Reason codes are also called credit score risk factors or adverse action codes. These numerical or alphanumeric codes are tied to various credit scoring factors and may be accompanied by a short description. If you check your FICO score, the score will usually come with reasons that explain what's impacting that score the most. They'll be listed in order with the factor that has most influence, and if the number of hard credit inquiries is impacting your score but does not surface in the top 4 negative factors, it will be included as a 5th code. For example, if you're new to credit, the number 1 factor impacting your FICO score might be the length of time accounts have been established, which happens to be code 14 with FICO scores. Additionally, you may see reason codes when you apply for a credit account. A creditor may request one of your credit reports and a FICO score based on the report to help it make a credit granting decision. When a creditor uses a credit score in making a credit decision and either denies your application or gives you less favorable terms, such as an interest rate that's higher than the lowest advertised rate, the lender is generally required under federal law to provide you an adverse action or risk-based pricing notice. This notice will generally contain various information about the decision, the credit bureau and credit score model that the creditor used, the score's potential range, your score, and key factors that adversely affected your score. You can have a good credit and reason codes. If your credit score is in the high 700s or 800s, most lenders would consider your score as very high, and that helps you qualify for very attractive offers. People are sometimes surprised to see negative reason codes output when they have a high credit score. This generally reflects where they are just shy of getting maximum points for a given credit characteristic. Use the reason codes as a guide because reason codes can tell you what currently has the largest negative impact on your FICO score. You can use them as a guide to better understand what's impacting your score. Keep in mind that a single incident could be tied to multiple reason codes. So here's the issue, and this is where so many errors appear on FICO scores or on FICO reports. There are breaks, there are benefits for different activities. So one of the items that affects your score is how long you've had credit. Well, if you look at your FICO report or your credit report, if it's a true FICO report, has an Experian, an Equifax, TransUnion on there, it's going to have a code for how long they've been looking at your credit account. It's also going to say when the account was opened. So you can look at that, and I've seen this in the past, where it'll say date opened was April of 1999. And you see there's all kinds of activity on there. And then it says how many months of activity, MOA. And it says 47. Well, now wait a second. It was opened in April 1999 and you only got 47 months? Why is that? Well, it's an error because that should have a code of 99, which is the highest you can get. It's only a 2-digit code. So it couldn't say that it's been open for 240 months. But you get an enhancement on your credit score when you go over from the flip from 47 to 48. So you want to make sure that that's corrected. That's going to cause a problem if you're not getting the right numbers there. Similarly, you want to look and see, something if you had a bankruptcy and it's on there and it's from 20 years ago and it's still showing up, that should not. Recent bankruptcies. I still see people that have recent bankruptcies, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but the debts that are shown in the bankruptcy are still showing as past due. That's an error. That's going to bring down your score. It should not be there. So what is your score based on? Well, 35% of your score is based on payment history. Do you make your payments on time? How long have the accounts been opened? 30% of your score. That's based on the amount you owe. That's the utilization rate. We've talked about that many, many times on Ron Siegel Radio. We've even got, and I don't know if Josh has it or not, but he may have the link for a segment that we did explaining how to pay your credit cards the right way. We've done that many, many times. I just redid it because Josh got me some new microphones and it sounded a lot better now. So, not my voice or anything else, the equipment sounds better. So, here's the issue. If you pay your credit cards the right way to maximize your FICO score, that's going to help you with the second largest percentage of your score, 30%. Then you've got 10% for new credit. That's your inquiries. How many times are you applying for new credit? 10%. If you're applying for a new credit 2-3 times a month, you're going to get a hit on that. It's going to bring your score down. Length of credit history. How long? Remember, I just mentioned to you the months that you've had your card. So if you've only had your card a short period of time, you've got all kinds of new credit, and all of them are short period of time. That's going to be building into that 15% of your score, the length of credit history. And the credit mix. What do your items look like? That's 10% of your score. What's ideal? Well, if you have 1 mortgage, 2 car, 3 credit card, that's going to be your ideal mix. Now, again, FICO does not tell anybody precisely what their algorithm is. So we see these things. Now, the report I'm referencing is actually from myfico.com. It's about as good as you're going to get. So myfico.com, they've got the data there because it's from Fair Isaac Corporation. So those are the items that really have the biggest effect on your scores and just some ways to deal with it. Now, remember, you're looking at a FICO score from 300 to 850. So that's 550. Now, if you have a perfect score, I've never seen one. The highest I've seen is 834. The only item that people really understand universally, in my experience, has been inquiries. So they'll call our team and say, Ron, I've already had my credit run, or one of the other people on the team, I've had my credit run. Don't run it again because it's going to hurt my credit score. Well, there's 2 issues here. First off, there's something called buffering. So if you're looking at the same industry, automobile, mortgage, furniture, and you're getting different quotes, and it's all within the same period of time, it's not going to count as multiple inquiries. Now, if you go to Home Depot and apply for a card, and then you go to Kohl's and apply for a card, then you go to Macy's and apply for another card, and then you go to Amazon and apply for a card, then you go to PayPal and apply for credit. Well, now that's 4 different places. That's going to hit you 4 times. That's going to have an effect. But go back to the percentages. Inquiries count for 10% of your FICO score, roughly. So think about that. You've got a 550-point spread in your score. 10% is 55. If you went from 850 to 795, you're still going to get the credit that's based on scoring. Now, you may not have enough income, you may not have other issues, but based on just your credit score, a 795 is going to be approved anywhere. Again, just from the scoring standpoint of it. So pay more attention to your history and pay more attention to your amounts owed, because that's dealing with 65% of your score. 65% can take you from an approved score to a disqualifying score, or maybe somewhere in between where it's actually just hurting your rates, but you're still getting approved. So just be aware of those numbers. Those are some of the biggest issues. And we're actually going to have our friend Jeff Sipes is going to be with us later in the week. And you'll be able to catch that. Now, remember, we record the broadcast 9 o'clock weekdays. And on Wednesdays, we do an extra broadcast at 10:30. So if you want to be interactive with us, go to any of our social channels, 9 o'clock weekdays, 10:30 is an additional broadcast on Wednesdays, just so you have all of that information. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.